Hello to our friends.
Hi, everyone. Hello, Doron.
Hi, Oriana. It's been a long time.
Very long time.
The world has been through something that will always be remembered and many wish could be forgotten, which has been Corona.
Yes.
But
We really want to forget Corona.
we want to forget it. And in Israel?
Today, everything is open. We have visitors every day, hundreds of people.
It's amazing.
Thank God.
Thank God. And we are with you today in a place that is still not open to the public, but during Corona has been excavated and something miraculous has been discovered here. We are right now on the Pilgrimage Road. You've been here with us before, but not on this day. This is a special and solemn day. What day is this?
Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av.
The 9th of Av, which what does that mean to you? They don't even know necessarily what it is.
I have a stomachache when I speak about it because standing here in the city of David, where the last Jewish people were killed, here where the temple was destroyed, and this was on the day of Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av, today, 2,000 years ago, standing here. So usually we go in the city of David, we tour for our fun. Today, we go on a tour which is a little bit sad because we remember what happened here. So let's start, Doron.
Let's do it. And the 9th of Av is a month in the Jewish calendar, and the 9th of Av is the time at which two temples were destroyed. The first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians, and the second temple by the Romans. And we're going to take you and show you the visible evidence of that destruction along this road. And last time you were here with us, we didn't even know that this was here.
Yeah.
Should we show them the house? Unfortunately, it's not the house of a friend. This is the house of an enemy.
Enemy, yes.
Let's show them.
Let's go.
Oh, wow, here it is. Yeah, here
We're
it
getting
is.
here.
Here it is. Wow, 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 wow.
So you see this big wall.
Yeah.
Thinking about people living here on the road, on the side of the road, people living here. Fortunately, this was an enemy's house, not our friend's house. How do we know that, Doron?
Well, first of all, it's in the middle of the road.
Yeah.
And as we know, could you imagine if somebody built a house in the middle of the road leading to the capital and just blocked the road? They wouldn't do that unless they came to conquer.
Yes.
And we know that based on the archaeological evidence of this road, that this was not a Jewish home. This was the home of a Roman, right?
Yes,
Oriana?
definitely. This is what our archaeologists are telling us. And they have all the evidence in order for us to know that.
Exactly. So after the 9th of Av, Jerusalem is destroyed. The Romans want to end the Jewish experience in Jerusalem. And maybe a commander or one of the leaders of the Roman army, the Roman 10th Legion, puts his home directly on the road. And I think he's sending a message.
Definitely.
What do you think he's saying here?
He's expressing his power. I'm here on your most important road, the road that took you up from the Siloam Pool all the way up to the Temple Mount. Hundreds of thousands of Jewish people walking here on the three pilgrimage, on Sukkot, on Pesach, and Shavuot, walking here. And he's coming and he's saying, no more. And look, Doron, 2,000 years later, we are standing here. The viewers are watching us, walking the same road, exactly the same road. Roman Empire, gone. No Roman Empire anymore.
That's incredible.
No Babylonians. But Jewish people, you and me, we're here. And we are walking on this same road
it's amazing.
That our parents, ancestors, used to walk on.
You know, it's amazing what you're saying because there's such might in these stones. I mean, look at this stone. I mean, they put it here, they planted it, and we know that he tried to be very strong, but he was also a little bit scared. And archaeologists found something that we're going to show you. He was afraid of Jewish spirits. I mean, they killed maybe 1 million Jewish people 2,000 years ago, and they were afraid of revenge. And so we found a charm in that wall. Tell us about the charm,
No,
Oriana.
you will have to tell about this.
I have to tell about the charm? So in the base of this wall, our archaeologists bent down, and they noticed just over here, in the base of the wall, a little piece of bronze, and they pulled it out, and we're going to show you a picture across the screen right now. It's a bronze lamp in the shape of a demon. And just like Jewish people put mezuzahs on their doors, obviously with great distinction, this Roman was putting a lamp, a genie lamp, a charm lamp to ward off Jewish demons. And what I think is amazing, Oria, is the day you called me a couple months ago, and you said that a team in Hungary found the other half of that lamp.
Yes. And I think this is exactly the story. The big house of our enemy, this lamp, and you spoke about the spirit. This man thought that he's going to destroy my spirit. But I'm here today, and he's not. And the lamp, this little lamp, is telling the whole story.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yes. Should we continue walking up?
Let's go up and walk through. You know, it's amazing, just a few feet from that Roman's house. He didn't even bother to pick it up. We find here in this little piece of light something that still gives me chills, Oria.
Yes, every time we walk here, both of us are shivering, right?
True. It's absolutely true.
Unbelievable, both of us.
You know, we'll show our viewers, I think, also a close-up of this, but behind this plexiglass, we can see quite clearly inside a coin that is sitting right there. It's written on it, the 4th year of the fight for Zion, and it symbolizes the 4th year of the battle against the Romans for the freedom of Zion. This was the last war cry.
Yeah, definitely. Can you imagine those people making these coins? What are they? They're telling us a story. And they wrote it, maybe in their blood, really. They wrote the story. 2,000 years later, we come here with our archaeologists, with all the workers that come here every day, and we find this coin, which is telling us a huge story about our friends, our Jewish friends, living here, fighting for their freedom, for the freedom of Zion.
You know, as you say that, I'm thinking of something. I have to share it with our visitors and with you. As I hear you say these words, I imagine a mother and father speaking to their 2 children, and the children looking up at them saying, why are we Jewish? Why are we here? It's going to end. Rome's going to take over, and they're trying to give them hope. And that family, who knows if their descendants survived or not, and then it lay buried for thousands of years. It was almost like that hope was buried.
Yes.
And now that we're here and you find the coin, it's almost like somebody put water on a flower and that hope sprung forth. And 2,000 years later, it's alive. The hope is alive.
The hope is alive. The tikva, which is our hymnon.
Our national anthem.
Our national, exactly. It is exactly that. Our hope is here every day when we come here. And for our children, because we also go through tough times, all of us. In Israel, Jewish people all over the world. We go through tough times, but we never lose our hope. And this is the reason why. Because we know that everything is going to be okay. We're going to come back to the same place where people were killed because they were Jewish. But we're still here.
That's amazing.
This is the answer.
It's amazing for Jews and non-Jews. It's amazing for, I think, people of all races and colors and religions.
Definitely. And we see it, you know, Doron. Every day we have here visitors from all nations, from all kinds of religions. Everyone finds his connection to this road. Everyone finds the way to connect to his own roots through this road.
Wow.
Because when you see that 2,000 years ago, there was a living episode here, you always ask yourself, so where was my story 2,000 years ago? And you go home and you start learning and you start asking and you get answers. And this is the purpose of this place, from my point of view. This is the purpose. Go and ask yourself the same question. And it doesn't matter where you come from. Ask yourself this question.
That's profound, Oria. I really feel like it is. And then find the hope to carry out your dreams.
Yes.
Like these people.
Definitely.
You know, you're the head of the excavations with the Israel Antiquities Authority, and you're the head of the excavations on behalf of the city of David and the general overall development of the entire site. And you have an excavation that the Israel Antiquities Authority team that is done here, and I think we're now dealing with the 9th of Av during the time of Rome. So the year is 70 CE. And we're going to ask our friends to join us. It looks like it's a bit of a mess. But that's it. The 9th of Av was a mess into a home. And I want to share with you something that I saw from one of your teams.
Yes, definitely. Let's go in. And I agree with you. It looks like a mess. But we can still hear the voices and we can still see the story. This might be a room. This might be a house. Might have been a house. And probably, I can really imagine it. Go with me for a second, okay, Doron? Even if we close our eyes and we can imagine that the mother of the house is sitting right here. People are walking here on the road, hundreds of people, and she's probably selling something that she's just made a day before. Maybe an olive oil, maybe something from her garden, and she's selling people. She's sitting here, she's selling to everyone. She's asking people, come, enjoy my things. And her children are playing here and coming out and in. I believe these were people a little bit more rich, people living so close.
Right, they had a home and a store.
Home and a store close to the main road, 5th Avenue. We can maybe imagine this. And you know, every day I come here, I stop for a second and I imagine the life that was here. We deal a lot with stones. And when we come to the city of David, we see a lot of stones. But these stones are telling us a story. And this road is telling the story of the living people that used to be here with their families, selling things. People are walking all the way up to the Temple Mount. And then we go in, Doron. And what do we see?
We see here, I see lots of pottery.
Yep.
I see, there's pieces of pottery here. I see ash. Here, there's 2 pieces of pottery. Here's some ash. There's a little pottery, a handle.
Yes, you see
To a
pottery. Yes, people used to live here. But then you see the ash.
The ash. What is the ash?
And we see the pottery telling us the story of the living people. And then we see the ash. And we remember that we are today on the 9th of Av, the day that our temple was destroyed. The whole street was on fire. This is the ash of the burning of Jerusalem.
Of the second temple.
Of the second temple, of Jerusalem, coming back to be Ilia Capitolina, out of this ash. And all of this lovely story we just spoke about a few seconds ago, everything's burning into an ash. This black thing, so small, and still, look, it doesn't even go away. This is the story of the 9th of Av.
That
This
is
is the
so
story.
powerful.
Here today in the city of David.
You know, Oria, when Israel was, the state was rebuilt, we have people coming back from 150 countries from all over the world. And I don't know if many Jews, and many non-Jews, but many Jews realize that the reason that we came from 150 countries and that we're not in Israel today is because of that destruction.
Yep.
That ash in your hand is the story of so many of those people. But Rome didn't just stop there. Rome, as you mentioned, they renamed Jerusalem Ilia Capitolina. And they took Israel, which was called Judea, which the word Jew comes from, and they said, wait, these people are still going to come back. And they renamed it Palestina. The word Palestina is over the Philistines, an ancient people that at that point had gone out of history, in order to sever that connection.
Yes.
But of course,
They failed.
they failed.
And we are very privileged to be here today. Touch this ash. Remember the story. But we have the privilege and we have the obligation to continue this line. This line will not stop here. We have the obligation to continue and revive this place.
It's amazing. Truly amazing. Our friends, we hope that you, where you are on the 9th of Av, realize and connect to what we're sharing, because we're really here to be with you as well. That you should understand the destruction and also the hope which is coming from here. And our journey continues up this road. You know, here we find something that, depending on the day, has such different meaning. This, of course, you and I have been here before with our friends.
Yes.
This, as we mentioned, was Speaker's Corner, right? This was the great podium.
Hyde Park.
Hyde Park. This is Hyde Park. And during happy times, they would have been standing up here and giving speeches. And,
Yes.
and it would have been a place of enormous joy. And one of the archaeologists who works here, he said that he thinks that during the times when the Romans were really trying to oppress the Jewish people, that they would have used this to make examples out of Jews, that as people walked up the roads, they would have maybe punished Jews on this stone in order to make an example out of them.
I have to say this is a bit too much for me. So I have to remember this. I like to remember this place as the place where people were standing. We've been to the Fifth Avenue. We came back to Hyde Park. We're going all over the world today. To think about this place being as a place for punishment for my friends, it's a little bit too much already. But this is a story. One leg is the happiness, the everyday life, what was here during so many years. And the other leg is the start story of the 9th of Av, which is telling us this period.
And as we know, the 9th of Av is only one day. And that's very, very important in Judaism, that we mourn with our hearts today and we weep over the temple. Yes. But it's only one day, and tomorrow.
And we're not allowed to continue to weep.
That's right.
On the 10th of Av.
That's right.
Only on the 9th of Av, we have to do it. On the 10th of Av, we are not allowed, because the life and the continuation is stronger than the failure.
It's brilliant. The sages, the men and women who understood what we would need to process and to become a people who are positive.
Yes.
And transform this into, and we can see from the generation of the Holocaust, how they managed to pick themselves up. You know, it could have just been the end.
Yes. Do our viewers remember what we have here? So just beneath this amazing story, we have another story, another layer of story of the city of David. Doron?
Sure, this is the drainage channel. What we're going to do is we're going to go down into the drainage channel, Oriya, and we're going to take our viewers to a place they haven't seen, which is a village throughout the ages. It was along this road, the access is via this underground tunnel, a place where more than 11 different civilizations were living, and we're going to go back in time. Not from the Second Temple, we're going to go down here in the Second Temple period, but when we come out, we're going to go down into the First Temple period. So let's go do it. Take a walk with us. We're going back in time 600 years to 586 BCE. It's amazing. Look at these walls. The drainage channel.
Just underneath the road.
Yeah, it's above us. I feel like this is Indiana Jones sneaking under a lost city, and it happens to be under a lost city, the city of David.
It's been lost for a couple of years.
It's true, a couple thousand years. Oh, I see the light. Oh, sunlight. All right.
We're going all the way out.
Here we go. You lead while I turn off the...
Ladies first.
Ladies first. What did we do before cell phones had a light on them?
So we're coming out from the darkness to the light. Whoo! All the way up, back outside.
You know, it's a great chance to show our friends here one of the most amazing sights in all of Jerusalem. This used to be a parking lot until a group of scientists had a feeling that underneath the city of David's parking lot, maybe something was waiting for them. So they asked us to clear off the cars back in about 20 years ago, and we did. And they did an underground MRI, just like you do if you tear a ligament. I hope you don't.
But still, they didn't imagine what we're going to find here.
They didn't. They thought there would be maybe 4 or 5 layers, but we know there are dozens of layers, 11 of which we know about. That means 11 civilizations are here. Roman, Byzantine, you have Hasmonean, the time of the Hanukkah story. You have the Second Temple period, of course. You have the Muslim layer, But what's unique here, I think, and I don't know if there's any other place like this in the world that you can say, you know what, we're going to descend a certain number of feet and we're going to go explore the primal base layer of 586 BCE.
Yes. So we're going to go back 2,600 years ago, again to the place where people used to live when the temple was
the first
here.
temple.
The first
Solomon's
temple.
temple.
Yes, you know, in Jerusalem, we find a few layers from the second temple. For example, the road that we just walked today, it is from the second temple. It's very rare to find ruins from the first temple period. And here in the city of David, this year, 2021, we found the room that is from the first temple time. You know, Doron, that this is maybe the time for us to say that the people that are digging here are from the Tel Aviv University, along with the Israel Antique Authority. And we are honored to have them with us. So let's go down.
Let's go down.
And see
Descend.
Doron, do you see how close we are to the ancient walls of Jerusalem?
I do. They look beautiful today on this somber day.
It is quiet today because it's Tisha B'Av, the 9th of Av. It's a quiet day. Everyone is mourning in their houses.
With every step here, we're going back about 50 years in time or 100 years in time.
At least, yes.
Here we go down to, we don't know if this is the lowest layer, but it's the lowest we found.
Yes.
Now we're going down into the time of the Bible.
Yes.
You know, we see here whole layers of archaeology, of pottery. Here I am. There's an entrance to a room. Just as we found it, I mean, this was all covered. We peeled this off layer by layer with Tel Aviv University.
Yes.
Did this with Professor Yuval Gadot and Israel Antiquities Authority, Dr. Yiftach Shalev. They peeled down to these layers and uncovered the layer of the destruction of the first temple in these rooms.
We can really see it. The destruction, the massive destruction. Someone was very eager to destroy this place.
Absolutely. We see the second floor, which came down from a top floor. And in this place we know, because we found the seal of one of the ministers from the time of Josiah. If anybody ever wants to think that the Bible is just a myth, this, amongst hundreds and hundreds of discoveries, have disproven that, because here we see that the Bible has such history in it. Yeah. The name in the Bible in the second book of Kings, Natan Melech, the servant of the king, was found here.
Natan Melech.
Natan Melech, which is why maybe they were so bent on destroying this. We see the Babylonians tried to destroy the Jewish people in 586 BCE. And then 600 years later, the Romans come. And, you know, we're standing right at the foot of one of these rooms, and I can see something we found similar to what we found before.
Yes. So just a few minutes ago, we were down on the pilgrimage road and we saw the ashes from Second Temple. And now the same ashes, but this time from 586 BC. The same line, same destruction, same black line. One is from 2,000 years ago. One is nearly 3,000 years ago. This is the story of our life. This is the line of our journey. And I think, Doron, as I said before, it is our obligation to continue this story. And I think leaving this house on the 9th of Av without seeing the city of David today, with the people coming, visiting the city of David, that someone would have thought that the story has stopped, has ended. But I think the story is just beginning.
I agree.
So let's go and see what's going on upstairs.
Absolutely. Oria, here we are in the gates.
Back to the city of David.
After 2,000 years and 3,000 years, we're back again, and life is pretty much back to normal. There's visitors here.
2021, 2,000 years after all the story that we spoke about today.
That we saw and touched and felt, that's on your hand.
Yes, and we actually spoke not only 2,000 years, we spoke about 3,000 years.
Exactly.
We're back to the city of David. We're back to the life.
We are. And you know, we talked about prophets of destruction. There's also Zechariah, who talks about, he says, one day the old men and old women will return to Jerusalem and children will be playing in the streets. And here we are. Jerusalem's full of life. It's a miracle.
Yes.
And that's hope.
That's hope. We spoke about hope. And we're living this day with a lot of hope in our hearts. And I want to thank you, Doron, for
Thank
being
you,
with
Oria.
me.
Thank you for
And
joining
thank
me.
you for joining
us and building the city of David with our incredible colleagues and to our amazing friends from abroad. We want you to come and join us here.
The city of David, where it all began.